Saturday night at Keyworth Stadium, the ladies came home for their home opener to take on Union FC Macomb. Both teams battled to a 0-0 draw. Tonight, Detroit City will host Toledo Villa, and also we give a preview of Saturday's matchup against their arch nemesis, Midwest United. It's all here on Soccer Night in Detroit.
At the far post, it's 2-1, Detroit City FC! Detroit City FC makes history, reaches the summit, and claims the 2024 USL-W League Central Conference Final.
Today we preview two matches. First, Detroit City versus Toledo Villa. Then, Detroit City versus Midwest United from Keyworth Stadium. And welcome to, another cloudy day in Michigan.
Yes, Keyworth Stadium, Hamtramck, Michigan, where the countdown is on. Yes, considering we had the whole show planned with the two women's game tonight against Toledo Villa and Saturday night against Midwestern United, and the men's game, which we're going to record for Saturday, we had it all in the can until breaking news, breaking news.
While I was at work yesterday, this guy texts me, sends me a story from the Free Press.
The Detroit Free Press.
And yes, legitimate article, by the way.
It's a good source, by the way.
It's a very good source. So yeah. Headline: aggressive timeline revealed to build pro soccer stadium in Detroit by 2027.
Not ruthless aggression, an aggressive timeline.
Very aggressive timeline. They would intend to start demolishing the old Detroit or Southwest Detroit Hospital on the corner of Michigan and 20th in July, so it can finish
1 month earlier as anticipated.
Actually, 1 month later, because at the last owners meeting, I was told. Shout out Neil Roll. No, we were told that it would start in June, but obviously these things take time. They take a lot of gotta wash shake a lot of hands, kiss a lot of babies type deal.
Yeah, they are saying, because when we did our attempted Zoom pregame of Soccer Night Detroit, we didn't mention that. Recently, Detroit City Council approved repayment of $6 million to tear down the entire hospital.
And that is a brownfield assessment,
yes.
So that will be
hospital.
Yeah, that will be paid out in due time. Let's just put
years,
21 years as far as that goes. But
we'll be old by then.
Two of the club's founders, of course, were attendants at a meeting on Tuesday with the Corktown Business Association.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be snack and mill between Mixontown and Corktown.
Yep, and Sean Mann described the schedule, which calls for an early 2026 start to vertical construction as an aggressive timeline, but one necessary to get the stadium finished on time. And of course, the project includes a parking deck and all that stuff as well, which is basically 600 spaces as far as that. I mean, it's going to be 600 plus spaces, obviously, to get that going. But the goal is to get done by the spring of 2027. He and fellow soccer club co-founder Todd Kropp said this summer they plan to reveal the final renderings of the stadium as well as the venue's official name as well. So also big news.
Yeah, you were at the owner meeting. They did say they have lined up a sponsor or two for the new stadium. Now, this will be the official name, not like a template stadium name until the sponsorship, right?
Correctly. Okay. So as of right now, it's DCFC Stadium.
Yes.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah, you probably remember when they announced the Red Wing Stadium, they call it the Detroit Event Center, but everybody knew they would slap a sponsor, for God's sake.
Of all things, Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, they know, yeah. I think, to tell you the truth, I think the August of the timeline is doable, literally.
I think so too, because you can construct something of that nature within a decent time frame.
Yeah, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to flush out the basement of that hospital. It's a flooded mess. About 1.5 million or 2 million gallons of water under that hospital.
Over the years, that has built up. Let's just say that
when it was empty and it got scrapped, and graffiti and oh my God, you know what I mean?
And all kinds of stuff that goes on down there.
And by the way, when they decided to redo the Michigan Central Stadium down the road, guess what? There was 1.5 million, 2 million gallons of water under that structure as well. So
the interesting thing about this too is the koi fish that have inhabited the area as well. You've been made well aware about that on different podcasts, different owners meetings, and so that. But yeah, the relocate. I think the relocation of the koi fish is going to be very pertinent in this situation, from what I understand.
There is such a thing as a koi fish.
Let's just say it's a glorified carp.
Carp. Oh yeah, I know, yeah.
Glorified.
But like I said, it's durable. Look at Rhode Island FC, their new stadium, Centerville Bank Stadium. It was announced in 2022. It's been delayed twice because of funding issues, and they finally got the arena less than 16 months. Remember, they didn't play their first home game until May at Center Bank Stadium, Pawtucket.
Yeah,
at Tidewater Landing. So it is durable. You could tear down the entire stadium, take a long time, then clean up the land, whatever left, and then
I anticipate it's going to be a, the demolition of the hospital is going to be first and foremost. That's going to take a good majority of the time.
Like
Yeah, probably at least about 6 months, because then again you got to clear the land and level it out and get everything set and ready to go for when you start building the new facility. So, and of course along those lines, also the new parking structure and whatnot, which is 600 plus spots.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of things going into this thing.
You're right.
As well.
And it's very exciting. So the countdown is on for the last year and a half here at Keyworth Stadium.
Yes, for the most part.
It's going to be 11 years when we say goodbye to Keyworth Stadium before we move to the Michigan 20th site. So.
Yep. We were talking about the water.
Yes.
And they plan on filtering and draining the hospital basement probably starting next week. So
that could be a big important thing. How in the world did the water get in there? Don't tell me it was a basement full of water. We all been through basement flooding before, but this is a little bit different because the hospital has been abandoned for almost 20 years.
Yes, and it has been pretty much gutted out and all that fun stuff, much like the train station. So you're talking, it's going to take some time, obviously.
It's going to be taking some time to have patching, and I presume the good marketing folks here at DCFC, we know them by heart, will have hopefully something planned for the last year here at Keyworth. You know
I'm pretty sure they will. That's for sure.
And then they're going to have meetings like what a little bit of Keyworth will have, and a little bit of our former Homecast Tech will be. Who knows?
Yes.
And then from the look of the rendering drawing, and this is not final, by the way, it will not include the gridiron lights because I noticed it's still too small for a stadium like that.
Yeah, the lighting will be better. Let's just put it that way. We've got nights at Keyworth where the lighting is not substantial. The TV helps it out a little bit, but we're still able to see play.
And by the way, if you notice, all the modern UK stadium, they have lights under the roof. You know what I mean? That protect the fans from rain, snow, cold, maybe.
Something that we may have to face today here at Keyworth.
I know.
Because weather forecast is calling for cloudy skies, potential 40% chance of rain here. To meet another old NPSL foe coming into the USL-W, and that being
game day.
Let's
give a toast to the game day.
A little sour green apple Faygo for you today as we get you set for a matchup against Toledo
Villa. Yes, we faced them before. I think it was less than 10 years ago. They only had one season. They faced on the men's team back in the old NPSL days. We took care of our business in Toledo, Ohio, which is a great town. My brother-in-law is from there. And then when we had the return match, it was a blowout, 6-0. You know what I mean?
Yep, and several goal scorers on that day here at Keyworth when that match took place in 2019 in the NPSL, and that was one of those games in which they ended up going into the playoffs. They ended up losing to AFC Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. That game at home where we went over the bar 3 times during the PK. So we had the lead back then. And with Trevor James' first year here, you know what I mean?
So
who is now the general manager.
Yep. And of course, we know what happened after that. MPSL Pro. that didn't work out so well, did it?
So well. We had the Members Cup. We won that easily, handily. Thank you very much, sir. You know what I mean?
And of course, several of those teams from that MPSL Members Cup moved on to NISA, and then the rest of the story.
The rest of the story, we're not going to go all day, but it's in our history. Literally.
It is in our history. But Toledo's women's side right now in the USL-W, not so much of a good start this year.
Yeah, where they are, last place in the 16 league.
Yeah, we're as it's
loading
as it's loading
as it's
loading right now. But they haven't had a like I said, they haven't had so much of a good start this year as far as things are concerned. They sit in the bottom of the Great Lakes Division with 0 points. They've had a couple games already. Well, for Detroit City right now,
this is our third game.
This will be our third match of the year. So Toledo, thus far, 2 games played themselves, both against Kalamazoo and Midwest United. Midwest United coming away with a 3-0 victory on the 21st. And then Kalamazoo, they hosted the first game, and they lost to Kalamazoo SC by a score of 3-1. So so far, goal differential -5 this game. So this could be the game in which we could finally get going here.
Could be the get right game here. You know what I mean? It could be after the spectacular goalie performance from our goaltender on Saturday night against FC United. I can't remember her name right now.
Allison Lapointe, the goaltender, had a fantastic performance the other day at here at Keyworth against Union FC Macomb. Unfortunately, the goals did not come about in that game, despite many chances. A lot of balls in the mid, a lot of play from the back coming up toward getting stopped at the midfield and all that stuff. They weren't able to pressure through like they wanted to, and unfortunately it resulted in a 0-0 draw. So
it was fun.
It's got to be a get right game. So depending on what the lineup's going to look like for tonight, Detroit City FC looking to that. Okay, lesser opponent, maybe something that they could help them in the long run. We shall see that.
We'll see. We'll give you the team news when it comes out.
Who's going to be in that lineup?
I know Kayla is going to be in the lineup.
Yeah, Lily was not in the lineup. She was in. She was present at the game, from what I understand, but she did not. She didn't. Ava Lanstra was also in the lineup as well. Did not play in that match as well. So be interested to see if those two are. It'd be interesting with the availability. Obviously, with these women's teams in the USL-W, availability is going to be a key factor.
And by the way, the lineup is deep, so we'll be probably okay. The lineup is. I don't know how many players there. There are about 20, 30 players there.
At least about 30. 30 to 40 players on that roster. So Coach David Way, he's going to have a plethora of players to select from, and not to mention tonight, Matt Sheldon will be on the call tonight on YouTube, on CBS Detroit, on Sports Engine Play. So his analysis debut. Best of luck to him.
Let me tell you, I have been watching his video at Becoming Elite on YouTube. Type Becoming Elite for Matt Sheldon. He have a good keen. You know what I mean? He's a soccer player, but off season he keep on training. He mentioned about his daily life, nutrition, and all that. And he should know about the game of soccer, what the daily grind. Not only having married and have 2 kids. Congratulations on the new kid, Matt. So, but let me tell you, he knows soccer like tactics and all that. And I would not be surprised once his playing career is done. He would be a great head coach or assistant coach. So
wouldn't mind. Depending on how everything goes tonight, he might be great in the booth. We might see our future analyst for DCSC games as well.
We like John Cougar, but let's say he would give it up.
You know,
Neil will probably
especially
have
with the insight of playing in the USL.
Oh, and the Mendes insight. He's been there for. When you look at the teams he had played, he played in St. Louis, he played in Hartford, he's been playing here, he played in Reno, and he's a journeyman, and he liked it here, and we're glad we re-signed him for one more year here. But honestly, from all the videos I've seen, I cannot wait to see what he do post-soccer year assistant, or probably what he's going to do tonight, announcing.
Yes.
Should be fun.
It will be fun. It will be fun. For those of you that are not attending the match, you can catch the game as obviously YouTube, Detroit City FC YouTube.
CBSDetroit.com. Not on CW50 because they need to broadcast CW.
Yeah.
But yeah, CW Detroit, like I said, go to the to the CBS News app. Oh, well, actually, you could get it on either the web and mobile browser, CBSDetroit.com. When you scroll down the sports section, you could press Watch Live. It's there. And if you're on the mobile, you could press CBS Detroit app, then slide down to local, press CBS News Detroit. If you want to watch Detroit Day, it must be CBS Detroit, not CBS Colorado or CBS Boston
or Chicago
or CBS Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, we still have anything. Yeah. Just press CBS Detroit. Just scroll to the sports section, press Watch Live, and you're there.
Yes.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
Yes.
For 2 hours of great Detroit City FC action.
And
also it's on Sports Engine Play as well.
I know.
For those matches. Every game in the USL-W this year will be available on Sports Engine Play.
Could we go to the next game, which will be on
Saturday
a
very
night?
important game. Very
After
important
this game tonight.
Speaking, you were talking about old rivals with Toledo Villa FC.
Yes.
This is the big rival of Detroit City FC's women, Midwest United.
Yeah.
You know the history. Up until last year, they never won a game against Midwest United.
They slapped around us. They toyed around us a lot in the first 2 seasons of the USW. And then UWS, that's the league was before we played here. And they let's say.
Yeah, they did a little number on us, and they were very dominant over those past couple of years. However, last season, the relief to see on Dave Dwayhe's face when they beat him the first time around here at Keyworth Stadium. And then it was like he got that proverbial monkey off his back on that night. And now this time around, and then they go into Grand Rapids.
That's where Midwest United FC is from, right?
They go into Grand Rapids late in the season, get the victory there to help solidify winning the Great Lakes Division.
Oh yeah.
And that was very pertinent. Now this Midwest United side, they're not having a good start so far this year. A 1-1 draw against AFC Ann Arbor, who have now, I think, pretty much separated themselves as the class of the league.
Yeah, they're the only single bike pilot shape group trying to catch around. You know what I mean?
Yep. And they've been the class of the league thus far.
They beat us. We know that 2-1.
2-1
to mysterious hovering goal. Mysterious.
So, they went in. They hosted Toledo last week, or on the 21st. 3-0 victory there. Great. Talk about. We'll go into match details on that one. You know, we have the young star in Lily Jekyll.
Oh yeah.
We definitely have the young star in Lily Jekyll. But trying to. Go to the match details here to show all action. There we go.
Okay.
So, London Spencer in the 56th minute got the game going. Now, who is she? She's, I think, 12 or 13 years old, I believe.
What?
Yes, a little bit younger than Lily Jekyll, youngest player in Midwest United's history to score a goal in competition.
When I remember when she started here 2 years ago, she was 15. Like, huh? Like, she can't be too young playing with a lot of grown people who have college experience and all that. But 12 and 13, Is that
Apparently, she's going to be. She's going to be. She's going to be somebody to watch out for. Obviously, it's you figured the youth, the speed, and the ability to play with players above her age level in competition. It helps them along with it helped Lily Jekyll, obviously U.S. Youth national team.
Yeah, that's right.
For her,
Yeah.
and it could be a battle of. It could be a war of the young stars. The paraphrase, my friend here.
You took the words out of my mouth talking about last week, but
the war of the young stars at Keyworth Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, well, considering Lily Jacob is now much younger, she's 17. She's still a kid in high school. You know what I mean? And this kid, I don't know if she's in middle school. All right, we're not going to go there. But it's surprising the development of teams housing young stars. You know what I mean?
And Midwest United is a good organization for that. They've been one of the class organizations in the state of Michigan on the west side of the state as far as developing talent to move on. And now, who knows what's going to happen with them going down the road. Obviously, we know the plans are going to be for an MLS next team.
Oh, yeah.
Next pro
stadium
team
in Grand Rapids.
Yep, at Amway Stadium. At Amway Stadium.
At Amway Stadium in downtown Grand Rapids.
We don't know what the future of Midwest United is going to be. If they're going to stick with USL, if they're going to, who knows what's going to happen. I'm not going to speculate anything. But they've been a very strong side for the last few seasons in this league. Have they really got their head on their shoulders as far as that goes. And I'll tell you what, I mean, this is going to be one team that is going to be, it's always it always is one of those teams that you have to watch out for, because regardless of what, they're going to bring it every match they play. Anybody.
Oh yeah. Every match that they'll come just like our girls here, you know what I mean? And let me tell you, glad these young stars have great teammates that look over them. They treat them like their sister, and as always, I have seen their parents. I see little parents be at them every game. They have protective parents and protective friends and all that. So hey.
And shout out to going back to Saturday, shout out to those Nationals people. I was over in the suite area covering the women's, or watching the women's match, and there was a large contingent of Nationals people, backing their team. It's like, you guys are living dangerously being close to the Northern Guard.
I know.
But they did have their contingent show out for them on Saturday. I expect that in a couple of weeks when we go over there in Romeo.
Yeah, so there won't be "Where Are Your Supporters" chants for that group. You know what I mean?
No, there really wasn't. There wasn't any "Where Are Your Supporters" chant. If they were asking that, they're right behind me. Literally, they were right behind me. So I mean, they were right there on Saturday. But for Midwest, it's an uncharacteristic season for Midwest United. Obviously, the two games with Ann Arbor, the 1-1 draw, the 2-1 loss.
Yeah.
The common opponent obviously is tonight's opponent. Which is Toledo FC. So I mean, that's the only common that we have in between there. But it should be a knockdown, drag out battle on Saturday when these two teams meet here at Keyworth. Obviously, we're doing a preview of both games. I will not be here Saturday for that one.
Yeah. And will you be watching on Sports Engine Play or CBS?
I'll be. I'll have an eye on the game one way or another. So whether it be the highlights, whether watch a game later on that night or whatever it is. After ours for Saturday will come Sunday. Obviously, let's just put it that way.
we're going to have after hours tonight for the women's game.
Absolutely,
right? And then you're going to do it solo from your hot tub, and I'll be reporting here from Keyworth Stadium. Hey, somebody have to be here.
That's right. He'll be here on Saturday. He'll give us a full report of what transpires here between Detroit City and Midwest United. Let's go to the picks.
Prediction.
We haven't been doing well lately. I called for a 1-1 draw. It ended up being 3-1 for the men. You called for the win.
That didn't happen. We clunked out.
And then we both called for a win on the women's game on Saturday, in which, well,
didn't go well.
Didn't go well. It ended up being a 0-0 draw. So regardless, we're still staying put at our respect. Yeah, we got
to update the graphics a little bit.
Yeah,
the same graphics. I'll have to do a little checkup here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not knowing much about Toledo Villa.
Okay.
I'm going at this blind. Let's take your prediction first before I go ahead.
I'm going to say a maximum 4-0 victory. A blowout.
A blowout.
Yeah. Maximum 4-0.
4-0. 4-0. We'll be needing those goals come a week or two from now.
We're playing a week or two now.
Well, no, Pride Raiser. We'll be needing those. Yeah, that's coming up. We'll be needing those. Yes, we'll be needing those goals.
By the way, you could go to the Northern Guard. They are the Pride Raiser link. So
ngsprideraiser.org, I believe it is.
Let's do it. June is Pride Month. Yep. We love Pride.
Yes, and every goal scored that month, you can pledge a certain amount of dollars per goal. All the proceeds go to
the Roof Ellis Center
down in Highland Park and in Detroit.
Yes, I had passed by the Detroit location on my bus ride to the L Club. It's a great building, must I say, which have a lifetime portrait of Roof Ellis.
Yes, yeah. It looks like a great facility down there, right on the corner of basically Claremont and Woodward. So it's just Claremont, down, Woodward, just down the street from Woodward. And the original center is over in Highland Park, also off of Woodward. So I mean,
let's get to your prediction for us against Toledo.
My prediction for this one's going to be, I'm going to say, Detroit's got to get the ball in the net, and they've been having issues. They had issues with that with Union Macomb, and I think I owe that to the fact that they were more defensive in that game, and they clogged up the middle a little bit. Judging by that score that Midwest put on them, I'm going to say 3-0 on that. Okay. I'm going to go with the 3-0 draw. Okay. I'm thinking we're going to get our legs back together. Kayla Addison will be in the lineup. I think she's going to score a goal.
Yes.
How can you say not?
And if Olympia's in the lineup, she may score.
Yep. A clean sheet for Allison LaPointe.
If she starts.
More than likely, I think that's the only certain I have for this one is LaPointe starting. You never know, though. I mean, they could, it really all depends on availability, especially, when you're talking about 40 players and all that. Who's available and who's been good.
And we're going to have team news an hour before the game. So who
knows? And we'll reveal that lineup as it comes to fruition.
And before we go, let's get to Saturday's prediction against Midwestern United.
Oh yeah, Saturday's prediction.
I didn't want to leave you off the hook.
You first.
Okay, I think it's going to be a tight 2-1 matchup for Detroit City. Midwestern United is so freaking good, you know what I mean? So they're a tough team to beat, although with the little, but I would be surprised if I see a tight matchup, 2-1 victory Detroit.
That'd be 3 wins in a row for you. You would predict that would be 3 wins in a row over Midwest United. I think David Dway, he has figured this team out and knows what to do. But then again, you never know what's going to come to expect. I expect it's a slugfest too as well. I'm going to go with the draw.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with the draw. Right. I'm going to say probably 1-1. I'm going to play it safe and go 1-1 here because they're fighting for one spot this year. I mean, it wasn't like last year where you could there was that half spot. Everybody's got the playoff system this year. Yeah, everybody all the division winners pretty much are in. My. There's no half spots available or anything. So
how many divisions there is? 8?
There's quite a few. There's quite a few in the
oh my.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few in the you look at you got Great Chesapeake, Great Forest, Great Lakes, Heartland, Lone Star, Metropolitan, Mid-Atlantic, Mountain, NorCal, Northwest. I think ours is. I think we got Great Forest, Great Lakes, Heartland. I want to say I don't know how it is in the North, but there is quite a few divisions. So playoff positioning is at
Crucial.
a premium.
And
so
you're going to have to catch up with AFC Ann Arbor.
and we've had 2 games of pretty much a slow start, but the time to go is now.
Yeah, time to go now. So yeah.
So and you're reflecting on that on your 2 picks there. I'm thinking the time to go is now. I said the 1-1 draw just based on the fact that, you know, we don't know what to expect of this Midwest United squad.
No.
They've been struggling. However, there's still that factor there.
Okay.
I'm hoping for a win, but, you know, like I said,
never know.
realistically, I'm thinking it's going to be a draw, but Detroit City's got to get it together as far as that goes.
Okay.
All right, we will see you after hours.
Don't forget Sports Engine Play and on the CBS Detroit app, Slow Sports and Listen Live. And don't forget, it may be or may not be on YouTube Live.
It is on YouTube. It will be on YouTube, Detroit City FC YouTube.
7 o'clock.
All right, until after hours, folks, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.